Julie and I have known each other since college, which has been almost 10 years now. And it has been incredible. But I can honestly say that my relationship with Julie is probably the most hard-earned one I've had. And Brad can probably understand. Julie's a tough nut to crack. But that's just because once she lets you into that circle of trust and of friendship, it's just an incredible place to be. Julie, for me, is the first person I go to for everything, whether it's good, bad, sad, anything. She's the first person I talk to. She has been my safe place, my security blanket, and my comfort zone, all without letting me off the hook for anything. Julie has been there for countless moments where I've doubted myself and where I've put myself down, and she's like, no, you matter. And Julie, I can't thank you enough for that. You know how much I love you for that. But a side of Julie that not everyone gets to see is her goofy side. And I have honestly seen more of that side to her in the last few years. I wonder what happened. I wonder, who knows? But I remember the day that Julie and Brad had their first date. And Julie kept messaging me that day going, I'm so excited, but I'm so nervous. All up until he drove up into the driveway and then she stopped messaging me. And I was like, oh no, what happened? But that was the first time in all the years that I've known Julie that I heard her say out loud that I'm nervous. And that's when I knew that maybe there's something to this giant of a man. The moment that I knew we would be here today was actually the first week that Brad was in Firefighter Academy. And Julie does not know this story, I don't think. I was hanging out with Julie, and Brad was in Firefighter Academy, so he wasn't around, but I had sent him a picture of Julie's dogs. And in response, instead of something funny or like, oh, that's cute, I get this super serious response back. And it just goes, I have it transcribed, I have it. He goes, Tiffany, I miss Julie. This is gonna be tough on us since I can only see her on weekends. And she means so much to me though, and I really believe we can do this. So help me look after her as usual, yeah? And it took all my strength in that moment not to cry. And Brad does have moments where he is a giant man-child. But most of the time, let's be honest, most of the time. But in moments like that, I'm reminded how much he loves and cares for Julie, and I can't thank you enough for that. I'm supposed to give you a piece of advice, but I don't think I'm qualified for that. So I'm just gonna say, keep loving each other like you both always do. For me, you have always been the standard of what love should be. Some people say that love is about finding your missing piece. It's finding your other half. but that implies that you're not whole in the first place. And what you both have shown me through your relationship is that love is more about finding someone who will love all of you, despite things. Things.
Leave it at that.
And but honestly say that I want to go on the journey of life with this person. And so before Julie tells them to cut off my mic because this speech is going on too long, and before that back table all said that they would stand up at my 1 minute mark, I do want to say that I love you both, and I look forward to seeing all the adventures that you guys have and all the shenanigans that you guys get up to. So, love you both, and cheers, everyone, to the happy bride and groom.
Just give them something. It is what it is. Be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself. Like we're dreaming, and we'll never stop believing. Wanna ever have this feeling all for you. Oh, I do. Wanna dance like no one's watching. Wanna laugh until we're crying. It's a special day. I love the camaraderie with all of you. You guys stick together, and that's what it's all about. So, cheers to you and Brad.
Huzzah! Huzzah! Are we downloading an Offspring album? It feels like I'm flying, Brad! Fast asleep.
Congratulations, son.
My balls hurt so much.
Success isn't measured by how much money you have, it's who you raised. So, and as a parent, as parents, couldn't be more proud of you two. So you guys are just a great couple, and we're just so proud of all of you and just who you are. And you guys are just meant for each other. So we can just see how happy you make each other. So now you're one, Mr. and Mrs. Meek, or is it Mr. and Mrs. Pham? I don't know. Have you guys figured that out yet? You still working on that one? Okay, we'll see what the mailing address says. So okay, so I want to say on behalf of the entire Meek and Blandino family that we want to welcome you, Julie, to our family. So you met most of everyone in the family. You know what you're in for. So enjoy the ride. So and to the Pham family, we welcome you too with open arms. We look forward to sharing these two with you with holidays and special occasions, and especially those grandbabies someday. How about that, huh? So let's continue to celebrate these newlyweds. Thank you, everyone. Love to Brad and Julie.
He started with hello on a summer afternoon.
Thank you.
Like, I'm ready. I hope so. Like, really? It's her wedding day. She better look ready.
Told you that I loved you, you weren't ready yet. But I had all the time you needed. I'll be here till the end.
Oh, guys, you're supposed to hold it together.
I couldn't. Hold it.
Hold it together.
I gotta wipe my
The makeup artist left. I'm like the vice principal. You guys are still too close. Still too close.
I felt a young heartbeat we had only heard about in fairy tales and movie screens and other people's towns. Two became one and one became three. Now you're the only everything means anything to me.
I'm trying not to.
It's been in heartbeats and slowly going on. It's playing in my heart in the greatest story ever told. It's been in heartbeats and slowly going old. It's playing my part.
So every man comes to a point in his life where he meets his soulmate. He finds the person that he can trust in, know that they're going to support him in his life. And 20 years ago, Brad met me. Yes. No, but all jokes aside, though, Brad is not just my best friend, he's my brother. And I'm super happy right now to be able to call Julie my new sister. I don't even know the words to accept you to our family. We have a huge family here today, like so many Chino Hills friends. It's amazing how many people, yeah, we got some back there. Woo! But if I were to say anything about Brad's always known what his purpose in life was. When I met Brad, like I said, 20 years ago, and we met as kids, and he knew I wanted to be in band. He knew I wanted to be in drumline. And like he made it happen, and like I looked up to him, not like just figuratively, like physically too, because I'm half of his size. But you know, it was amazing. Like I remember the day Brad was like, "There's this girl in HR that I really like." And I'm like, "Dude, you're gonna get fired. Stop it." But you know, but again, Brad knew what he wanted. He knew where he belonged, and he was like, "I'm gonna continue to pursue her. I'll give it some time. I'll come back," and he got it. I mean, he's got the girl. I mean, kudos, Julie. You look like you're out of a fairy tale today. So I mean, just kudos right there. Woo! But I mean, regardless, he always knew that you guys belong together. Just like anything in life, like I said, he knew he belonged to Drumline. He knew we belonged as best friends. He always knew. Like deep down inside, he knew. And again, I'm super happy to say that you're my sister now. I'm super happy that I'm a part of this day. I love you guys. To you guys.
I've been searching my whole life for you.
Today we gather to celebrate the union of our dear friends Brad and Julie. Brad and I grew up together long time ago. We were little boys living down the street from each other, and he was like a brother to me. And I remember a phone call we had where he told me about this girl that he had asked out. And it didn't go well, but then he called me again, and then there was this girl, and I kept hearing about her, and I would say, "How's it going with Julie?" And he would say, "It's amazing, there's no problems." And weeks would go by and I'd say, all right, so how's it going now? And he'd say, it's going amazing. There's no problems. And it's just been like that ever since. And I was so impressed with her when I met her, and I was so impressed with their dynamic and their love for each other. Every time I talked to Brad, he just seemed happier, and I feel like I'm a little bit older than him, but I feel like I've started to look up to him. And I'm so proud of them. Marriage is such an adventure. I used to think when I was a kid, why do these people stay together for so long? Don't they get bored of each other? And now that I've been married for a little bit, that's not true at all. It's such a mystery, and it's so exciting that you don't know what's going to happen each day, and you never know what they're going to say. But you always love them, and they always love you.
Dear Brad, you came into my life in a very boisterous manner.
I did? No.
And after every date, I kept telling myself, this guy is way too loud for me. I'm not sure if this is going to work out. But there was something about you that made me want to hold on. Then, a few months into dating, right before you were going to start as a firefighter, I remember a conversation where you told me you'd understand if I wanted to break up with you. You said you'd be busy and we wouldn't be able to see each other as much. I told you, no, I'm fine, because I wanted to keep holding on. And now we stand here getting married. Can you believe next week will be 5 years since we started dating? Aren't you glad I didn't decide to listen to you? So I wanted to share with everyone just a few things that made me want to keep holding on. 1, you match me in my love for food and trying new things. 2, you get along so well with my nieces. My family says having you in our family is like having another kid. A very big kid.
That's very accurate.
And you seem to have an endless repertoire of terrible jokes.
No.
Sometimes I laugh with you. Sometimes I'm just laughing at you.
It's okay.
And before I read off my list of promises to you, let me start off with my list of things I cannot promise you. 1, I cannot promise that I will know where I want to eat whenever you ask me, where do you want to eat? You really haven't learned your lesson after you asked me for the 1,000th time already. 2, I cannot promise that I will be surprised when you forget we are supposed to be somewhere at a certain time that we scheduled with your friends. And lastly, I cannot promise that I won't give you a hard time when you forget to put the toilet seat down.
I never forget that, ever.
While I cannot promise those things to you, I can promise these things. I promise to always be your anchor, not in the kind that weighs you down, but grounds you and supports you. I promise to continue to support you in your career and in your many promotions. This guy just got promoted 3 weeks ago. And I promise to stay by your side on this adventure with you throughout all the good and the bad. Finally, I want to remind you, although your plans don't always go the way you want them to, like the very first time you asked me out, and I turned you down very coldly. Just know that at the end of it all, I will always be here for you.
Julie. Hey, Julie.
Hey.
Writing these vows to you was a challenge. because usually I just say whatever's on my mind. I just couldn't find the words to say, so I decided to sing them to you instead.
Oh no.
I'm just kidding. Thanks for the support.
Amen.
Appreciate that. Julie, even though you don't remember it, our first encounter was amazing to me. We passed each other in the hall at work, and I made a lame joke, and you pretended it was funny. And when I finally gathered enough courage to ask you out, you said no. It didn't go exactly to plan, but that makes for a great story. And even though life might not take us where we want to be, we'll end up where we're supposed to be. I promise to make you watch all the great movies that you should have seen years ago. And I promise to let you nap when you fall asleep watching said movies. Or just whenever you want to nap in general.
Good
That's
man.
fine. Yeah. I promise to be patient when you can't decide which restaurant you want to eat at.
Did you really write that?
I really wrote that.
Oh my gosh.
No, we did not compare notes.
Wasn't planned.
I promise to announce when I'm entering a room so I don't scare you. And when life gets scary, I promise to be there for you. I promise to listen to your needs and anticipate them. I promise to put us before anything else. And finally, I promise to love you with all that I am until the day I die. That's pretty good, huh? Not too bad, huh? It's pretty good.
Give me that sunshine, sunshine. Give me them good times, good times. Nothing but good vibes, good vibes. Give me that sunshine, sunshine. Every day is a new beginning. Every day is a gift to hold up high. Everyone has a way to carry. Everyone has a soul, so let it shine. Don't worry about the clouds, 'cause when the skies come out, give me that sunshine, sunshine. Give me them good times, good times. Nothing but good vibes, good vibes. Give me that sunshine, sunshine. Bring on the summertime. Bring on the summertime. I will scream from the highest mountain. I will love like there's nothing in my way. I believe in the heart inside me. I believe in the hope that conquers hate. Don't worry about the clouds, 'cause when the skies come out, give me that sunshine, sunshine. Give me them good times, good times. Nothing but good vibes, good vibes. Give me that sunshine, sunshine. Give me them good times, good times. Nothing but good vibes, good vibes. Give me that sunshine, sunshine. Bring on the summertime. Bring on the summertime. Bring on the summertime. Bring on the summertime.